like I'm just being sucked up into the sky through this translucent tunnel of light. And I feel like I'm now just flying through this tunnel, and it's going farther and farther. This is quite wonderful. It's that feeling of flying.
Oh,
Yet
wonderful.
it's through the cylinder, through this tunnel-like structure.
And do you go fast or slow? Do you notice?
There's some speed to it. I think the faster it goes, the more exhilarating it is. I enjoy it.
Do you see any colors or anything on the sides, or what does it look like in this cylinder?
So the sides right now, it's unclear. It's like the light is extending out past the tunnel of the cylinder, but it's somewhat opaque. It's kind of white and bluish. So I can't really see outside this tunnel and structure. Just a little bit because of the opaqueness, but I'm still flying through it. It's like going farther and farther. And I'm feeling a sense, I get my heart like in excitement.
So it feels good. It feels good to go.
Oh, yes.
Oh, wow. And do you get a sense as you're going through it, do you feel as if you have a body as you go through it, or do you feel, how would you describe yourself there?
I still have a sense of my body, but also it feels as if I'm becoming more and more translucent myself,
Oh,
like
wow.
more and more like light with just the faint outline of the body.
And what happens next?
And now I'm getting, it's like sucked up even farther, like even higher, higher and higher toward this bright light, this bright golden light. And now I'm at the light and I'm emerging through the light. And it's like I don't walk or step out. It's like I'm hovering in the air, like I can fly in my semi-translucent body. It's not fully physical, just partially.
Uh-huh.
And as I look around, it's almost like being in clouds. It's nothing specific visible yet, just a whitish hue. Yes, I keep turning myself around in all directions, and it's like a vast, vast plain.
Uh-huh.
I think somebody's coming. Now I feel like someone's coming.
And how do you feel about this someone?
I'm curious. I feel like I am happy to see who this could be.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it is two beings who are coming, people, but
Mm-hmm.
not people, beings.
Do you
Like
see them or sense them?
I see them a little bit in that they're semi-translucent. One has kind of brownish, curly, short hair. He looks young, like a teenager, but a very gentle face, very angelic in a way, his
Mm-hmm.
face. And the other I can't see as clearly. The other one I sense is older, is larger in size. They feel somewhat angelic in nature.
Hmm. And do they speak to you, or what happens when you see them?
So the younger one flies right up in front of me, and he lays a garland of, it looks like just flowers, a garland of flowers in my hands. He has a smile on his face and welcome.
Oh,
And he says that he and his people have been waiting for me and
oh,
to come with
wonderful.
him.
Oh, wonderful. And how do you feel about this?
I feel happy.
Uh-huh.
I feel good here. I have no reservations. I feel totally open and happy.
And what happens next? Where does he take you?
And so the older, larger being is still present, but I still cannot get more but a vague outline. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's a male
Mm-hmm.
as well. And they lead me, and as they lead me, it's like the cloud-like environment that we're in starts to open up to one where there's a light above, like a beautiful white sun. And now there is foliage unfolding. It's almost like the path is just unfolding and opening with a scene of trees and flowers and very beautiful, very innocent looking, very idyllic.
Mm. Oh, tell me more about it.
So there's a path, and it's as if I am on this path moving forward into this land, but they're still hovering on each side of me,
Mm-hmm.
not touching the ground. But it's like my feet are on this path moving forward, and I can't see how far the path goes. They're just walking beside me or hovering beside me as I walk.
Mm-hmm.
And the younger one says that it has been a long time since I have visited last.
Oh, tell me more about that.
I'm asking, what is this place? Where
Mm-hmm.
is this?
Mm-hmm. Oh, what do you
And
hear?
he says this is a land of abundance. It's a land of bounty.
Hmm.
This is, this is, I don't know that this is a world, actually. It feels more like a plane, like
Oh,
a
okay.
plane of existence.
And he says it was a while since you'd been there. Can you ask him when you were there before?
Yes. Before I came to Earth,
Oh, and what did you do there?
I rested there.
Oh, I see. And so, why do they want you to go back and see it?
They say we want you to enjoy what you know in your heart. That they say I've become blocked to the generosity, to the bounty that is available to me. That, oh, it's funny, I feel this emotion coming, such sorrow that I've had too much sorrow inside of me. And I have to let that go and remember this, which
Oh,
is part of me.
oh, I see. And where did the block come from exactly? It was too much sorrow?
I've been taking on many difficult tasks, more than I was advised to do.
Oh,
And the burden of this has become a weight upon me that stands like a hindrance in my way of accessing those channels of energy and information, of light and abundance, which are meant to feed and nourish me throughout my journeys.
Was there a purpose for this sadness, or for taking all of that in? Was there a purpose for all of that?
They say I wanted to gather as much information as I possibly could, that I wanted to gather the information to share. But they say sometimes there's a wisdom in temperance, and that it was just a bit, I filled my plate a bit too full.
Oh.
And the weight of it became a burden.
How can you get this weight off? I mean, now that you understand this, can you release it now?
But a part of me doesn't want to release it because I feel I must find the strength to endure this so that I can bring all of the gifts I have gathered. I don't want to leave any behind.
Oh, I see. And do they want you to carry on some of this burden, this sadness? Does it benefit you in any way?
I am not meant to be in such sadness, not for any extended period. But this is something I can shift.
Oh,
This is
okay.
something I can correct. That
Okay.
I don't need to worry about losing some of the gifts I've gathered. Those treasures are safe, but I do not have to carry them all at once. That I can now start to bring them, like armful by armful, back to this place where they can be distributed to where they need to go.
Well, now that you know that, can you do that now since you're at this place? Can you distribute them now so that you can leave them and release this?
They are helping me. They say they will help me to carry all the things. And so it's like I can sense that others come, these angelic type beings. And it's like all of this trail of it's like things. It's like in a way, it's like treasures of information, of understanding, of experience. It's like there's a whole trail behind me of things, and instead of me having to carry it all, they're helping me by picking up the things and letting me relax, letting me just watch as they gather up all the things for me to bring them forward.
Oh, I
And I feel
see.
relief.
Oh, good. Okay. And so what else do you notice? What else do you notice as this is going on, or what else do you see?
I feel like I couldn't have carried anymore, that truly I was at my limit. But now with this help, I feel better.
Oh, good.
And as I look around, now I see something racing overhead. It's like a shimmer of golden light. Almost, I would think it's almost like vehicles, but it's almost like they're flat, and they're in the shape of they're kind of rounded and sharp at the same time and flat, and they're flying overhead, they're speeding by overhead.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I'm only seeing the very bottom surface of them. I can't see the rest of what they are.
What does the bottom surface look like?
So it's in the shape of rounded angles, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a asymmetrical shape. Each one has a different pattern to it. It's almost like, I think it's a type of language,
Oh,
that
tell me
each are the
more.
shape of the type of language that's flying overhead. And it's like the language, it's a universal language, a language of light, and it flies through this plane. It's like messages, directions that come from higher civilizations, I think, like
Mm-hmm.
more evolved beings, I think.
As you look at these messages, do any of them come to you? Or are you able to bring them to you or benefit from them in any way?
If I reach up in the sky, if I float up in the sky, I can put my finger to touch the bottom of one and it stops
Mm-hmm.
and it just hovers there. And so I'm going to place my hand on it. Oh, and it gives way. It's like I can float up into it. And so I'm floating up. And now I'm in a spaceship.
Oh, what is that like?
And now I'm in this spaceship. It's small. It's maybe one person could fly this ship.
Mm-hmm.
More could fit in, but it's enough that one person could fly it. And these ships are like, they're like darts. And I'm not sure where they go, but this ship feels familiar to me.
Oh,
I'm pleased to be in this ship, and I'm sitting down in front of a console in a comfortable chair that reclines back, and a console pops up. And now I feel like I've taken off and that I'm flying now through a different environment, that I'm no longer in that place. But now I feel like I'm flying across another place, like flying across in the sky of a planet.
oh, tell me more about it. What do you notice?
I feel so excited. It's almost like I can feel the wind in my hair flying, that I'm looking down at this world. It's a physical planet. It's more physical than the plane I just left.
Mm-hmm.
And on this planet, there are primitive people. There are animals. There are four-legged animals. There are birds in the trees. There's ocean as well as the continents. I'm just flying above right now.
So it's a physical planet and there's oceans and you see birds too?
Yes,
Oh, I see. And you could see the continents?
I see large land masses
Oh, I
and
see.
bodies of water.
Mm-hmm. What else do you notice?
And I notice the people down there, and they're primitive looking people.
Mm-hmm.
They
Oh,
they are they are they they look human in a
mm-hmm.
way, but pre-human. they look more animal-like, more like more hair covering their body, but not like an ape, not like that. They're more human, but they're very primitive. They do have fire. They wear skins, and they do make huts out of grasses and leaves and wood, twigs.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's a primitive people.
Oh, I see. So they're very primitive, but they look almost animal-like. How would you describe their face?
Their face, their forehead comes down much more over the eyes, like there's a shelf over the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And the way the mouth comes, the jaw does not jut out as with a human being straight out.
Mm-hmm.
It goes more angular up toward the nose, toward the temple. So it's almost like their faces are, it's like if you took a face of clay and smushed it from the top and from the chin together. It's a more angular set of features like that.
Oh, interesting. And they wear skins as well. See clothes?
They wear animal skins to
Mm-hmm.
cover themselves.
I see.
They're rudimentary.
Mm-hmm. I see. And tell me more about what you notice. Do you just watch them, or what do you do?
I feel like part of my mission is to help these people.
Oh, tell me about that.
More of us have come in these ships like my own. More of us are flying over in these dart-like ships over the land, surveying the land, checking on the progress of the vegetation and growth. And I am looking in on the people now, on these primitive beings. And we are going to help them to take a step in development. That's our mission, to help them with that.
And do you get a sense as to how you're going to help them?
We are going to gather some of them, and we do that very carefully. We try to keep them calm, to not frighten them, but we need to gather them because we need to take genetic samples. We need to check on the cellular development, on the health of their bodies. And we will introduce something into their systems. I'm not sure if it's DNA, new DNA that we're going to introduce. I don't think it's DNA. It's like some kind of cellular substances that contain proteins that will somehow improve their systems. It will help with resilience to the elements and to disease. It will help strengthen the body, but also somehow this is going to help to develop their brain their brain cavity, their brain matter, to help the brain further develop so that it can accommodate more consciousness.
How do you feel? Oh, go ahead.
But we're not doing the consciousness part. We're just merely working on the physical body. That's our part.
Oh, and who does the consciousness part?
When I think of who does it, I feel a great sense of love. I feel a great sense of connection. It's another race. It's another set of beings who we look up to, who we admire and esteem, who have a greater sense of understanding of universal principles than us. And they are the ones who will imbibe consciousness with a greater capacity for the bodies that we work upon.
Oh, I see. And do you get a sense about this group that you look up to? How you know this group or why you look up to this group?
They are one of the builder groups. They are, it looks like that they work upon many worlds, that they cover a vast expanse, that they work in helping many worlds develop, the consciousness of many organisms develop, but especially the development of higher organisms.
And how do they, go ahead.
Just like human beings.
And do you get a sense how they elevate their consciousness, what they do?
They are beings who are not physical. They are more energy beings, but yet there is a sense of a body to them, but it's just their knowledge is so expansive. They don't quite look like us. If I were to stand next to one, it would be a giant towering over me. But this might just be a perception of like a form they can take on, but it would be like it's a titan. It's humongous, this being, but it's the form that I see it in. It has a bluish color skin. It has a very bulbous head with no hair, large bluish eyes, a small nose and mouth, very elongated and robed in white.
And they, go ahead.
They are creator beings.
I see. And do you get a sense how they help these particular humans raise their consciousness? Do they also do what you guys do? Collect a few?
No, that is our job to work on the biological part,
See.
the physical part. They work more. They work more with the souls, with the entities themselves, and give us direction to work on the bodies, to create bodies that can hold more, greater and greater consciousness.
Oh, I see. And how do you feel about your particular job?
I feel very fulfilled by it. It's that we work so closely in tandem with these very knowledgeable beings, and that this allows the different species to progress, to evolve, to take more and more complex forms. It's a very rewarding work.
That's wonderful. How would you describe yourself?
Right now, in this lifetime, I have a female body. I see myself wearing like a flight suit that's white, but it's banded with ribs on it, going horizontal, and it's very close fitting. I am humanoid. I don't look totally like an earth human. My eyes are bigger, they're greenish. I have hair on my head, which is a whitish yellow. My features, the more I look at myself, actually, now I'm starting to look a lot more, or a lot less human. Like the cheekbones are expanding, the face is wider. the mouth is quite small. So quite a small chin and mouth area, kind of bulbous cheeks going off on the sides,
Mm-hmm.
and then a rather pronounced forehead. So a little, a little bit, a little bit insectoid looking, but not really. It's almost like a cross between mammal and insectoid.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And you said your skin is whitish, kind of? You said?
The jumpsuit is whitish.
Oh,
As I
okay.
look at my skin now, it's actually more greenish gray.
Oh, okay. Okay. And your eyes are green.
Big and green.
Oh,
Big, like
wonderful.
almond shaped. Very, very pronounced.
I see. And so you feel this is an important mission and you're happy about your your mission there. And do you notice if you have anything on your jumpsuit or on your suit? Do you have any design on it or no?
Yes, there's an emblem on one breast. On let's see, it's on my left-hand breast. There is an emblem, and as I try and see that emblem, it's a shape. It's a it's like the emblem is round, and the shape has a roundish characteristic to it, but it also like has a zigzag line would go back and forth, but
Mhm.
it's rounded going back and forth.
Do,
It has that kind of a pattern, but I think it must be a letter or something, or a symbol for something.
do you know or get a sense what the symbol means or what it stands for by any chance?
It's a symbol for, I would say the equivalent would be, it's like the Department of Development.
Oh, okay. And how do you feel to be a part of this program?
I trained long and hard. I studied very long and hard. To be a part of this program and to be chosen for it is an honor amongst my people, and I am so happy to be doing this work.
Could you tell me about your training? What was that like?
It was training to understand the biology of many different species. I would say not only hundreds, but like thousands of different species. The cellular components, the biochemical components, the um, the matrices of organs, and how organ structures interact in different environments, like an oxygen environment, a methane environment, a hydrogen environment, that we had to learn so many things about organisms within different environments and how to best adapt those forms to the environment.
Wow. And who taught you all these things? How did you learn? Was there a type of schooling or what was it like?
Yes, there is a school, the equivalent of a school in this world, like a university where this is studied, and it is difficult to get into these programs. You have to exhibit not only innate talents, but intelligence and propensity toward this work. And also there's like a spiritual component, like that you're spiritually aligned, that this will help your own spiritual progression.
Oh,
Only if you meet these requirements, then can you get into this program And it's such an honor because in a way you're studying under this other race of beings that I spoke of earlier who deal more with consciousness and soul. And it is that we will one day progress to their level.
Oh, I see. So it's quite an honor, and it's such an accomplishment that you have made it into this program. But you learn from these other beings? Is that what you mean?
Yes, I learned from these other beings. It's like we work in the field,
Uh-huh.
applying our knowledge, but also these other beings are simultaneously working on consciousness and development, on the progression of entities through different incarnational cycles, so that they may experience and synthesize their experience so that they may continue to grow and progress. So we get to watch what is being done by these other beings, those creator beings isn't the right word, but I can't quite find the right word for what they are.
I see.
They are part of the genesis process.
Okay, I see. And do you get a sense as to why they do this work?
I get a sense that brings them great satisfaction to see the development, the progression of life, of consciousness, of growth, of new experience, of taking on new forms. It's like a creative act. It's the genesis of life that they are a part of, and they're just one facet. There are so many others who do these type of jobs, but it's all a part of working all together harmoniously with the one, that which is the oneness.
Oh, I see. And what about your people? Why do you guys do this as well? Why do you do the job that you do? Is it also the same or is it different?
We also feel that connection to the whole, that everything is interconnected, everything, not only this universe, all the planes, all the realities, everything is part of the one. And the one seeking to take on like new creations, new to expand, new everything new. That's so important. To try new things, to create new, and yet a part of the process is to bring all of this together, and that it's constantly feeding back into the whole, into the oneness, to expand it even further. It's I find it difficult to explain how this is all in motion, but it's harmonized motion.
Oh, beautiful. And tell me more about your planet or your place. What does it look like or what does it feel like there for you?
I feel like I feel like the place is not so important. It's like it's one stop amongst so many stops of trying out different jobs, different expressions of beingness. I feel like I like to experiment a lot, to take on different shapes and forms, and to try them for a while, to master them to some degree, and then to go on new adventures. So I feel like this is just one of my adventures.
Oh, I see. So you feel as if you've had many. What are there any other adventures that you've gone on that are important?
Well, I feel like I have been that other being too, which I was describing,
Uh-huh.
that I have been one with that as well. But I had the desire to experience more the denser physical level, like more the creation, be more the creation than the creator.
Mm-hmm.
So those primitive humans that we were working upon on that planet made me curious
Oh,
what that's like to go through that spiral of development.
tell me more about that. So you were curious and what happened?
So I was curious and I expressed my sense of curiosity. And I asked for a meeting
Mm-hmm.
where I could discuss the possibility of me taking that tangent, of taking a new tangent to discover that it's like the development from a more of a humanoid type life form, but
Mm-hmm.
from a more basic level.
Oh, and so what happened?
And so I was granted permission that I would be allowed to do this. And I think many things happened along the way before I finally chose where I would finally uh, do this work or
Mm-hmm.
spiral down, go down
Mm-hmm.
to try to come back up.